Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 401. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinstein.
Hey.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to episode 401. Wow. So if you didn't know, we did a stream last week for 400 where we posted. It's on YouTube. You can watch it or you can download it and listen to it if you haven't listened to it yet. And then we actually streamed a fundraiser for Extra Life. We streamed for 3 hours, three and a half, whatever. 3 hours, yeah.
For some.
We streamed for a while to raise some money for Extra Life. And if you're interested in donating, those links can be found on our Facebook page and on our Twitter account. You can go and click on the link and then donate money. We're still taking donations for Extra Life. It's for the Children's Miracle Network. And that's what we did for 400. So if you haven't seen it yet, watch that episode. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun talking about our gaming experiences, most memorable experiences.
I don't think you can watch the streams, though, of other games.
The Twitch channel might not have them. I probably should download. It probably still does. I can download them and move them to YouTube.
You can download it. Yeah.
So
gotta do that on Twitch, not YouTube.
Yeah, we played Overcooked, which at the time I don't think we had speech going. So
No, we didn't.
probably would have been better with our speech because it was hilarious that game,
Yes.
Overcooked. So yeah, we actually streamed some Switch games thanks to Tony actually providing the proper way to do that.
device.
Yeah, but we were figuring that out. So now that now that we ironed out the kinks, I kind of would love to do that again. And we're talking about getting together again to do this. There's the big day, which is November 3rd, which is like their Extra Life Day, and so many people stream all day for games to make, they stream their games to, for donations. So we're talking about doing it on then or maybe before, or we're going to figure it out, but stay tuned for that. We're going to keep talking about it. And until then, like I said, you can go and donate to Extra Life. Our link is on the Twitter account and our Facebook page, so please go do that. But let's start with 401 here. Just a couple changes real quick I want to tell you about. We're going to be doing something fun each week now on these episodes. So if you listen to the movie cast, you probably know this already. If you don't, go listen to the movie cast. We have some new stuff we talk about. We're basically going to be introducing topics each week, or in-depth news topic where we'll have like a featured news item, which we'll get in-depth and discuss. And we're not going to just kind of jump around like we kind of do on news. We still will do that on smaller items, but we're going to get like in-depth on it, and we'll break it down and kind of get into how each of us feels and about the item, and
You'll unpack it a little bit.
So we're going to be doing that. So this week we have a topic to talk about, which would be Twitch streaming impact on single player games. So we're going to get into that eventually, but first let's get started with some gaming news, and then get into what we've been up to, because now it's been 2 weeks, and you may not have heard it on the Gamecast, but there's I finished the game finally. So I'm pretty happy for it, and I'll talk about that shortly. But let's talk some quick news here for Anthem. How is it? This game is a game as a service, as it's a very popular topic. Not having plans for any sort of DLC at this point in time. Does that mean they're just going to include it to the product?
No, there's no way.
I just don't understand.
I think they just don't want to talk about it right now because I feel like just because of everything that happened last year with Battlefront 2,
yeah,
they want I don't know if you guys watched the EA press conference. I didn't live, but they seem to EA seemed to really try to backpedal and be like, whoa, it was the developers, it wasn't us, we're not greedy, blah, 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 we're for the gamers, whatever, that kind of nonsense. So I'm pretty sure they're scared shitless to talk about anything with, games as a service, DLC, microtrans, anything, until they hammer it out and think it's going to be, acceptable. Because I guarantee you, if they were like, this is our plan, and then it wasn't what is going to make people happy, it would be another uproar, and that would kill that game prematurely.
I think so. I think so.
Battlefront 2, just.
The other thing that they may be considering too is litigation, and just the fact that loot boxes as gambling thing for children, you may have to alter what you do with your games now because the fact that the government's going to get involved and shit like that.
Yeah,
so,
I think that might be the problem too. So they're still trying to.
As far as DLC, I think they just don't want to use that term DLC. They're going to use some other catchphrasey marketing term additive content or some stupid like story-driven
Well,
campaign.
I think if you take the model of games as a service, you can't call it DLC. It's expansion packs.
Well,
It's,
I mean, it's still
Yeah.
DLC.
It's
I mean,
just-
still, are you downloading this content?
Yeah, but it's like
still technically DLC.
Yeah,
just
I know.
that
Every
that
update
phrase
is
has such
DLC.
bad.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
it just-
The content will be coming as a patch. It won't be coming as a DLC item.
Right, and that's what I mean. They're gonna use some markety
Yeah,
phrase to like bypass it and technically not call it DLC.
yeah, I think so. And no plans for cross network play.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Are any EA games crossplay right now?
I don't think so. Not yet. Excuse me. Sorry, I was killing an ant. But yeah, I don't think there are any actual cross network play yet. But that's becoming so popular now. Like it's
It's the future.
Like, yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, but I linked an official
Minecraft
advert
and
from
Nintendo.
Minecraft, where like literally at the end there was an Xbox and a Switch logo, and you're just like, and it's like play together.
I mean, you got the
anywhere,
girl
so-
in the green shirt and the guy in the red shirt, and
Yeah.
they're like, and they're playing together
Yeah,
the whole time.
yeah.
I mean, it's an advertisement for that whole thing, and I have to hand it to Phil Spencer. I mean, they're making strides into this area where Sony is not doing it. And I can't speak to the fact that the interview with Giant Bomb was very cool.
I didn't get to hear it yet. I didn't get to hear that yet. I was going to mention that I heard on Giant Bomb's interview with the woman that introduced the Battlefront loot boxes. She's no longer there. She started her own thing, and she's like she said like I'm so much happier to be just working on this. She's like the last time you saw me, I was giving you loot boxes. So she's like I'm very happy to be working on this game, and she's like, so she's She was talking, and I felt bad because you realize how much probably flack that they got for the loot box fiasco from whoever was responsible. I don't know who it was. I'm guessing it was EA because we know how greedy they are.
I mean, it's all they're all involved.
But yes,
people
anyways.
said you got to do
Nobody's
this. and it's
completely
okay.
blameless.
No.
EA is the publisher; they okay everything. The developers pitched it, I'm sure, at some point. It's
And and EA is probably saying, can you do something to like make this more of a games as a service? And like, yeah, we can throw that in there. Like, we'll figure it out. And so like everybody's contributing to what happened. Like,
But yeah,
you can't say like.
and they had multiple steps to be like, okay, we'll readjust. We'll make it.
They have
we'll make it
multiple
right.
chances. But yeah, back to the cross network play. Microsoft being behind Sony and trying to be the good company now, like from trying to backtrack what they did with their the DRM service that they were talking originally with Xbox One. It actually has benefited us all because we were getting these much better, like we're getting backward compatibility, which is, I guess, everybody loves. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I know a lot of people love it. And now we're getting this cross
When
network
you don't have
play.
games, you need something to fill the library.
Yeah, we're getting this cross network play now, which was something that I knew that Sony had with Portal and stuff that back in PS3, and now it's Microsoft is embracing it, and they're basically Nintendo has no problem with it either. So it's like this is fantastic for both of them and for us as gamers because now we can play.
Now, when you see the official Twitter accounts for Microsoft and Nintendo of America talking about playing Minecraft together, it's like, damn, that's
Well, what's that guy from Xbox who basically
Tom
said
Nelson?
Mike
Nelson?
Ybarra or something?
Oh,
Something like
Ybarra,
that.
yeah.
He tweeted out a poll and he's like, "Who wants to crossplay with Destiny?" And then like it just blew up. Like,
Yeah.
because you can't do that. Like it's not gonna happen.
I mean, Sony's gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to budge. I think they are. So.
and even some Sony guy came out and said it's money. I think that's the reason.
Yeah, I know.
next Sony employee. Yeah.
I'm sure, but so anyways, where are we here? Let's see, the director Testuya Nomura for Final Fantasy VII, director, said that the remake was announced way too early. Again, we go back to
shot.
yeah, but like here's the problem. So let's say the game, everybody's been clamoring for this game remake since how long now? I mean, how many years already?
A year after it came out.
So, well, no, I would say PS3 they really started talking about doing
Sure.
people wanted it. So, how early is early? Like, how long do you need to take them? If you're taking 10 years to make a game, that's the problem. It's not announcing something too early. It's you taking 10 years to make a game. I think that's way too
No,
long.
I mean,
in
I
development cycle.
think it's the same thing about Kingdom Hearts too. Is like we announce these things too early, and I agree with you, Jim. Like if you're gonna announce something, then get on it. Like just make it.
Yeah, do it. That's what I'm saying.
Or
like,
have been making it. Like
Yeah, like,
don't
I
just announce
understand.
like, oh, we're gonna make this game
Like-
in like 10 years. So
I'm not opposed. I agree with announcing things too early. I mean, we talked about it extensively last year after E3. Showing things and not be, it's not even close to being ready.
just
And
a CG trailer or something.
yeah, yeah, and we talked about that, and it's like I understand that, I get it, but it doesn't matter. Like, something should not take you 10 years, anyways. Like, if you're gonna announce something, from creation start to to finish, it shouldn't take 10 years in my mind. I'm sorry, 5 years I guess that's long, but it should be okay. So if you announce it then 2 years before you release it,
I mean,
that's
the
fine.
thing is, how many times do we want to see the same thing at E3 each year?
Sure. You don't want to
But
see
I
it.
think
How many-
maybe
Crackdown 3, I'm sick of that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3,
I
exactly.
mean, it's
Crackdown 3.
only is going to hurt you.
Oh, I know. And look what it did to Microsoft there. The game was not ready, and they showed it way too much too early, and that's the problem. And I do agree with the statement. I just don't agree with the development time.
Well, I think maybe what he meant was like, regardless of what's happened before, because realistically, that probably means they tore everything down and had to start over maybe more than once.
The other
So
thing, yeah, I know.
that's
what happened.
When he's looking for the announcement, like he says it's announced too early, then they should have a better idea of where the finish line is if they're, once they have progress. So,
Sure, absolutely. But like,
so
this
that's what he
industry-
means. It's like, oh, we're still real far from being done with this. We might have have an idea now how to do it for real, but maybe that's what he means. It's still too early to announce since it's going to take another 3-4 years or whatever.
Right, but that's the thing is like this industry has been sold off of hype for decades, and I remember specifically that E3. I remember specifically.
Be excited.
It's like Final Fantasy VII remake, Shenmue 3, all this other stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we might see these by the end of the PlayStation 4.
See, that's the thing. Final Fantasy VII is not going to be on PS4. It's not.
It's also the way you announce things too. Like that's also an important thing. When you announce something like Final Fantasy VII, the way they announced it, you're like making it like seem like it's coming sooner than it really is.
And they broke it down into episodes to
because like
help that.
well, look at how Cyber 2077 got announced.
Yeah.
I mean that was announced basically 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it was announced before The Witcher 3 even came out. But people aren't like clamoring over and like, oh, blah blah blah. It's like, but it didn't create the fervor that Final Fantasy VII did. But it's something that people knew about and it's coming, and now it's like they actually showed it, and you're getting to see some actual gameplay and it's an actual thing now. And now they're kind of going full out and saying, "Hey, this is our next game. This is what we're going to do."
Was that really announced, or was it just rumors before?
No, it was announced. I mean, they said we're making it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
So, like I said, this game's not coming out on PS4. FF7's not.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I think it's going to be
Probably
cross-generation.
will.
Do you? I mean, honestly, think it'll be out by 2020?
Probably not, but I'm just saying,
Probably not, but
don't
the
think
thing is-
that the PS4 is going
Will
to wait.
they,
like
will they
PS1.
tear it down again and start over again to make it for a new
It's going
system?
to be like a Persona 5 thing. You're going to get it for both.
We are done with generations in terms of like, hey, PlayStation 4 game, like
You think
your
it'll
PlayStation 4
play?
games will be played
Okay.
on PlayStation 5.
As long as that's the case, that's fine.
Like-
You're right, but
We are entering this era, and especially now with games as a service. Can you imagine trying to come out with a new system, whether it's PlayStation 5, Xbox 2, Nintendo Switch 2, whatever, and they're like, oh, hey, Fortnite, not available yet. Sorry. Can you imagine that?
I know. Yeah, I know.
Like, who would do that?
Yeah, you can't.
It's going to happen, though, Tony. It's going to happen in some way. But I agree with you. I mean, that's the thing is these games as a service live on and continue to grow and become better as time goes on, and you can't just cut that off.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like at some point, how do you manage that? So like you have to change everything, and I don't know if Sony's going to be the one to do that though. That's what I'm saying. Like I definitely think Xbox is in that vein because they've already announced like their next thing,
Well,
and
right.
so
but
like, I definitely believe they're going to be doing that. I just don't know if Sony's going to be on board with that yet.
That's what I was unsure of.
But the thing is, if Microsoft does it, Sony has to respond because here's the thing, right?
They've responded with crossplay.
But the thing is, they're at a competitive advantage right now. But as we've seen, every single generation, all it takes is for you to do the right stuff.
No, I agree with you, Tony. I agree. I'm saying
no, I know.
because we think this is the right thing to do doesn't mean that's what the big wigs at Sony think.
If Sony does, I will say this: if Sony does not do it, they will not take first place.
Absolutely, and that's the whole thing that happened with Xbox. Is like Sony came out and was like had that tweet with the guy handing the box.
Yeah.
Share your games.
And that's actually what I meant to link in the chat.
That's
like,
the fucking thing they're doing right now. Is they're reversing that shit.
Yep, I know. But here's what I'm saying. So, like, just an example. All right, you took look at Microsoft and how Xbox 360 sold like 80 to 90 million units. All right, and we go to Xbox One where they start. Essentially, they're starting at 0. And remember, they didn't start with backwards compatibility from day one. So it's like, and then it floundered off the gate, and they were just in deep shit for years, and they're still not doing "quote unquote" great.
I mean, they uphold their whole entire upper management.
Right, I know. But here's the thing: like, imagine if they had laid the plans out, like, oh, Xbox One is going to be backwards compatible from Xbox 360. Now, when they release a game like Halo Master Chief Collection or Halo 5 or whatever, you know. And they could release it on 360 and on Xbox One and sell it to over 100 million combined user base.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense. And instead of how many millions of units did they sell by the time Halo 5 came out anyway? 15 million, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And,
maybe, yeah.
And for Microsoft, it's important for them to do it because they're already laying that foundation, and it would be really stupid for them to invest in all that BC technology. Just be like, yeah, Xbox 2.
No, I think that they're going in that direction. Like
absolutely,
they're with their next console is going to just be exactly that. So, and I love the stance that Phil Spencer is taking, where what's best for everyone, what's best for the gamers, what's best for people that are playing. That's what they're looking to do. And I just don't think Sony's there yet.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if Sony were to come out PlayStation 5 and be like, hey, all your PlayStation 4 games don't come with you. You look, you're like, Xbox 2, I can go and play all games all the way back to original Xbox or 2001, or I can buy a PlayStation 5 and start over from scratch.
Yeah,
that is a competitive.
Absolutely.
And that's not going to stop Sony from not doing it.
I think Sony is very arrogant. I don't know if they're.
Look at how they responded to crossplay.
I know.
I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna know.
And they blame they're blaming their competitors. They're saying, "Oh, we don't want these people. They're gonna bring bad stuff into our community.
We don't want those people."
Here's the thing. This time around, I believe Sony's going to announce their new system first. That's my theory.
No, and Xbox already did. What are you talking about?
Well, you know what I mean. Show it. I think they're gonna show it first. And I
think Sony showed it didn't they show theirs first? Xbox didn't have a box.
So I think it's going to happen the same way again. But this time around, I believe it will be emphasis, like Tony just said, on, hey, Xbox is going to show you can play all of your games on the new system. And if Sony doesn't do that in that press conference beforehand, it's going to look pretty bad on them.
No, absolutely. And I totally agree. And that's what has to happen. I just don't think that's where their mindset is right now. They think they're top dog. The same thing happened to Xbox and Microsoft last generation.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
they're not.
I know.
I mean, and that's the problem is when the competition isn't so far behind. You know, and Sony loves their exclusive content shit. That's another annoying thing where as a Destiny player, you have these things that are exclusive to PlayStation, and it is one of the reasons you don't have crossplay. So it's another thing that's just hurting the player, and why do we need to go through that as as a community, as a whole?
You're having a lesser experience. Yeah, you're having less experience because Sony politics.
So, I mean, I'm so much I don't know. I'm Jim used to be or still is his Phil Spencer's boy. He's his boy. He's turning to be I'm all about this guy now. Everything he's come out and said, everything he's standing for right now is what I want gaming to go towards.
Well, that's what we wanted to see was his impact on the industry is more starting last year into this year and going forward is him now, and it's he's making the right calls. I mean,
he was put in that position, and who knows if it would have been different if they were in top, but because of the position they're in, it's great. And the Fortnite thing is the best thing that could happen right now because it has to. They have to do something to show what Sony's stance is right now is not right.
No,
I could just see I could see a commercial from Epic highlighting you could play Fortnite between Xbox and Switch and PC, but not with
You can play against mobile players. Like every single place that you can play Fortnite on,
Yeah,
you can play with
and
any
play it
other
everywhere.
player except
Yeah.
for PS4.
Played everywhere.
And just by the way, Fortnite is ridiculous right now. Have you guys
Everybody's
delved
playing
into
it.
anything like that?
No.
It's like not just with what they're doing to update the game constantly. World Cup is going on right now, so they have soccer stadiums on the map, and there's like
Wow.
challenges to like score goals,
Wow.
and you can get your team soccer as like your costume. Like these are things that are the reason this game is thriving, is because they're constantly updating the game and moving almost like at breakneck speed to like just keep fixing it and adding more content to it.
You just reminded me of
it's ridiculous.
I was kind of trash talking my 8-year-old nephew the other day, as I said, let me know when you start playing a real video game, not Fortnite. And he's like, and he just came right back to me. He's like, let me know when you get good at Fortnite. And I'm like, oh my god, this kid's 8. That's awesome. But yeah, all he does is play Fortnite. I had him play Halo here the other day, and he did like the game a lot, but he went right back to Fortnite immediately.
And this just really cool stuff too. Like in the world, there's like a missile countdown going on right now, and like people don't know what that's about.
Exactly, but the game. There's another point that I just made too. Is the game's accessible to 8-year-olds that actually can play it and be, that can actually play the game and enjoy it and be as good as people. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. What else do we have here? Toys R Us might be coming back already.
Don't care.
Former CEO from 2013, when he left the company, is starting it back up again, trying to get the Canadian company that bailed out the Canadian Toys R Us to just basically fund the U.S. one. So we'll see.
I just don't understand how that, like, how much of a shit show that turned into. But
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But they took on too much debt. I mean, that's it. I mean, they took on way too much debt from their purchases.
Sure. We just talked about debt in the movie.
I also missed
That's
the
what people do.
I missed a bit of news here real quick. Nintendo mentioned the big games that were missing from their E3 press conference because they, as we were discussing about games being announced too early, those games are way later in 2019. So they didn't want to show anything that was not up to early 2019, as we were just discussing earlier. So like Metroid, for instance, is slated for later 2019.
They want to focus on the next 24 months.
Yes. So we'll
all
see.
Smash all the time.
Smash.
But that's what they do, though, is they focus on one game. Like,
yeah, they did it last year. They did Zelda. Remember?
Yeah.
We made fun of Zelda. Like, that's their focus. You got to be kidding me. And then, yeah. All right. So let's see. Let's get into what I've been up to. As I mentioned, I finished God of War.
Yay.
Yeah. So it took me a little while, but I have to say, like, and I think I mentioned this over the weekend with you guys. And because Mike, have you started playing it? No. We might just do a spoiler cast then. Maybe we just do one next week or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But because I don't know how long it takes. It's a 30-hour game, so you're going to take you a month to get through it anyway.
You could do it less.
I did it in probably 25 hours, I would say.
If I get into the game for real, it'll when I get into games like that, I'm a bit of a completionist, so it'll take me a bit. So, I'm not sure though, because I'm not. The opposite in Assassin's Creed, but it's also taken me forever because it's not holding my attention.
I was listening to a podcast, and one of the guys on the podcast said, like, I know there's completionists out there, and like they see like all these icons on the map, and they just do them, like kind of go dry, like autopilot through these things because they get better stuff. It's like, what if one of those was like bad for you, and just because you weren't paying attention, it like fucked you over? It's like that would be pretty neat. Like actually pay attention to what's going on, and is this actually something good for me or not? I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
For like a side quest, like I don't need to do the side quest because it's gonna be bad for my character. But as far as God of War, Jim, like
I like the game a lot. It's the story is nothing like amazing. It wasn't like I don't understand how it got perfect scores, but I will say that the game was very good, and it was for some reason like it was very like it kept making me want to play it more and more. Like I wanted to get through it. It's not like let me just do this because it got perfect scores, but it was more like I'm enjoying this game, but I'm not like crazy about the story, but the gameplay itself was so fun that, and as soon as you open that as soon as you start leveling up and you start opening up the talents and stuff, like the combos and it really got good. And there was another twist later on in the game that when I got to that point, I was like, this is excellent. I really enjoyed that part. I don't want to keep it vague because Mike's going to play it, but we'll talk about that. We're going to do a spoiler cast for this soon, so we'll figure that out when we get done with this episode, I think. Figure out when we can do it. But I enjoyed that, and that's I kind of started playing Octopath, the demo that came out. I'm only in the beginning though, so not far. But I didn't play the Hunter. Okay. So, but I didn't get to play the demo before, so like this is new for me. But yeah, so I'm starting that, and I put Ni no Kuni back in the system, but I don't know if I'm going to play that one because of Octopath coming out and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I don't know. So we'll see. But that's what I've been up to. Tony,
Would they say Octopath's a 100-hour game?
is it?
Did they say that?
I'm asking.
Complete,
That's what I thought.
maybe complete.
I heard 40 to 50.
But complete, maybe. But I'm like,
Oh, complete. Like
Yeah, maybe if you do
Yeah.
all the characters.
yeah, yeah. All right, Tony, what have you been up to?
So I have been playing Hollow Knight.
Oh, that's
Furiously.
right. That's right.
Like, oh my god, that game is just. I literally love it. I love that game. I'm a huge fan of like Metroid and Metroidvania style games, and I have played a lot of very good ones over the years. Axiom Verge, SteamWorld Dig.
Hey, successful
Guacamelee.
Kickstarter here.
Yeah, all that stuff. But Hollow Knight is it's literally on another level in every category, from graphics to music to polish, story.
Is it the same thing as Shovel Knight? Like, what is it like?
No, it's not like Shovel Knight at all.
Okay, what is it?
It's like a Metroid game.
Okay.
It's a 2D action platformer where you fight enemies, unlock abilities which help you get to new areas to explore, and then you backtrack. You unlock shortcuts, exploration. This and the other thing. And it literally is a game where you just go around, and I will say it is very tough. It is tough. You die a lot in this game. I mean, so much. There have been bosses where I have died probably 10 times in a row, and it's just like, fuck this shit, and like throw my controller. It's like, I'm done tonight. Like, I'll give it a try tomorrow. Like, I storm off for a couple of minutes. I'm like, no, I gotta beat it tonight. And then I just come back, turn it back on, and try it again. But it's so good. The music, the atmosphere. Let me just say, it is a testament because I hate bugs. I hate bugs with a passion. I don't care what type of bug. I don't even like. I see a picture of a bug on the internet, I get creeped out because it's just all the legs and eyes and just god, they're so gross. And originally, when I first heard about this game, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, sounds like a really awesome Metroidvania. And it's like, yeah, it's about bugs. And I was like, no, like I don't want to play a game with bugs. And mind you, it's all very cartoonish and stuff, but still, it's just like, it's kind of gross. And there are some enemies and stuff in this game where I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus! Like, let me just deal with this right now, because this is like, some stuff happens and like literally my skin just crawls just thinking about these things.
I got a fear of spiders, so I can imagine. I'm not making fun of you. Trust me, I understand.
No,
Me and spiders, no good.
At least so far, there haven't been many spider-like enemies, which is actually very surprising. Yeah. But yeah, that game is amazing. It is well worth. I think it's $15. I mean,
nice.
I'm already 15 hours into it. I beat the game, got the base ending, and it's one of those things where it's just kind of like a bad ending where it's like you kind of do the bare minimum, and you're like, oh, okay. And I'm the type where it's like, as soon as I beat the game, then I'm like, all right, I just don't have the time to invest and kind of like blindly go about everything. So I like look it up, like, okay, how do I unlock like the new, like the good ending or whatever? And they're like, oh, you do this. I'm like, holy shit, like this is like, I would have never thought of some of these things. So they're like, you got to do this and then go there. I'm just like, damn, that's like really intense. If I was younger, I would totally just be like, I could see myself playing this all summer long, just dedicate myself to it. But it's awesome. Definitely recommend it.
I definitely I like the idea of the charm system too, where like you have these charms that give you abilities, and you kind of have to weigh what you want to do in certain scenarios where like maybe you want to not be able to heal, so you get a 50% bonus in health or something, because some bosses you just don't have time to heal and things like that. So it sounds like there's a lot more strategy as well as managing your inventory and your charms. I think is it called charms, right?
Yep, charms. Yeah. And that's absolutely one of the beauties of like the combat system, how flexible it is. So like there's two different styles you can do, where it's like you have like what they call a nail, and that's just a sword, because again, they're tiny little insects, but they get like real world like nails and needles, and that's their weapon. So you can do that. You can stab. You can do a
nerval.
Right, exactly. But then you have what they call soul power, and then you can use that to heal. You can use it as offensive, like projectile magic, whatnot. But depending on what type of player you are, you can customize your abilities via these charms that Corey is talking about. Where it's like, right now, like I'm better at the melee combat, so I have just like strong melee combat things. So it's great when I can get in like an enemy's face and just whack them a lot. But if it's like a platform like run and jump and attack, it's like not so suitable for that kind of play. So it's like maybe I switch up my loadout to help me beat like that type of boss or something like that. So it's very flexible, very in depth. Like I said, it's just amazing game.
And definitely beautiful to look at. Like they did a fantastic job. And I've mentioned this before, but like I love like the pixel art style of Shovel Knight and stuff, but I'm just tired of it. And I really appreciate what they're doing, like Mega Man 11, and then what they're doing here is just like I want to see some beautifully drawn 2D artwork or some beautifully like developed 2.5. So like actually, I'm looking forward to like Bloodstained to see how they do with that, because that's another thing where they're not just doing the pixely.
I hope that now Bloodstained, obviously the demo got delayed an extra week. I really hope the game's not like empty. That's what I was worried about with it. It looks beautiful. We've played it.
Wait, Jim, did you get the download game, Curse of the Moon?
Oh no, I never got it. I never claimed that. So was it? Yeah.
It's very much worth it.
Okay.
That game is
good.
fun.
I have to get that. Okay. That's the 8-bit thing, right? They did or something like that? Yeah, okay. I'll give that a try. I have the link. I have it, I think, but I'll have to get that. But yeah, because I know they had the demo for this game coming soon, and it got delayed a week. But we played it, and it was really nice and great looking. But I'm hoping it doesn't feel empty. That's the only thing I was worried about. So
I mean, I heard from people I heard talk about it at E3. They said that it's far and beyond what it was the last time.
Awesome.
So they have no worries.
This game sounds great. I might be picking this up tomorrow.
This game, it's a love-hate game.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
That's basically what it comes down to.
We'll see.
There's no in between with this one.
Like The Witcher.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm pretty decent at a lot of these video games, but there are some bosses where like literally I'm just like, fuck this shit. Because so like I will just warn you, there is a downside mechanic. So there is a Souls-like mechanic where if you die, you leave your like soul behind and you drop all your money. All right, so you respawn and you have to get to your soul and kill it to reclaim your money. So it can be a downside. Like I lost my money once, I think. It's not as bad as like losing XP or anything like that, but that is a downside. But there are ways to circumvent that. It's just that is one of the pain points possibly. But it is literally.
Are you playing it handheld or on the dock?
I've done it both. It seems pretty flawless on both.
Cool.
It's actually fun because like right now, just because games are quick is going on, if there's an interesting game like I want to watch, like I'll just play on handheld and kind of like watch the footage, because I did see part of a speed run for Hollow Knight and it's just like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'll just say that it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. Mike.
Okay. So I haven't sat down and wanted to like go into a new story game, so I didn't do God of War yet. I played a bit more of Rocket League and Battlefront, actually. In Rocket League, they have a new update for Jurassic World, actually, where you can drive the like Jurassic Park type Jeep, and the goal explosion becomes a flaming T-Rex roaring, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then these games that just keep living on because of the model.
Little updates like that. Yeah, it's not much, but it's something. They also have their summer event going. I mentioned it before, which is just like a new arena and some new songs. Actually, they update it too. In the menu, they have a lot of interesting, like sort of video gamey techno type dance songs. And then actually at Corey's, after we did this stream, I played a little bit of that Transformers game.
Oh,
with the remember
Devastation.
That? Yeah,
cool.
That was interesting, and the problem with it is like it felt good enough once I started to like figure out how the combat worked, and I'm like, why did this Turtles game is really as bad as they say?
It is, but I know because when I started playing Transformers, I'm like, why didn't they do this for Turtles?
Wait, you guys played Transformers?
I've played through Transformers. Remember how great you raved about it? I played through. I played through that game.
It did have a little bit. It did have a little bit of the where the fuck am I going? Even though it was marked on the map, everything had different layers, and there were some times where I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
But
yeah. So
No, the combat felt better than I expected.
Yeah.
So
I don't expect that in the Turtles
it
game.
was interesting.
Sorry,
I
don't.
mean, I guess not.
Wait, Jim, did you try the Turtles game or no?
Yeah, I think where did I
did?
play that? Yeah, because I have it. I think I have it.
You have it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I got it for I had
What's
like
it called? Like
credit.
Shadows or something? Or
Yeah.
is that different?
No, that was
No,
it. I
Out
think-
of the Shadows is the older one.
Oh, maybe that's what
was
I'm thinking
Snap.
of. What was the new one then that they did? What was the name of it?
The new one was Mutants in Manhattan.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I played that one at all. No, I didn't play that one. Sorry, I'm thinking about the other one. So
That one I have.
they're both bad. I mean, I haven't played the new one,
they're
but
bad in different ways.
yeah. So, anyways, all right. Corey, what have you been playing?
Actually, just mostly Destiny right now. Been like really getting back into that with the Warmind DLC and the stuff that they've been doing to extend the grind aspects of it. And there's a new like end game thing that they've done called Escalation Protocol, and it's like one of the most fun things you can do in Destiny because it's 9 players that have to be all in the same instance, and you just fight like horde mode and in Destiny, just waves and waves of baddies, and then different types of bosses that have different mechanics that you want to use to defeat them. And just with the amount of players playing at it all at the same time, it's just a lot of fun. And there are 3 guns that drop from this Escalation Protocol that are very rare and hard to get because it's like a 5% chance. Mm-hmm. And they are like god tier guns. So once you get one, you feel like a god playing it. And that's what was missing from Destiny. It's like all the guns were just so bland before, and like they didn't have like a real reason to chase. But like these guns are just amazing. Like you get the shotgun from this, you just melt bosses like crazy. And so it's just been a lot of fun doing that. So
Cool.
I've been enjoying it.
Cool. All right, let's get into our topic then, which would be Twitch's streaming impact on single player games. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Let's do it.
well, we had a conversation. Who was talking about that? Were they talking about the E3, right? Single player games and
It was like an article where a couple developers were saying how like Twitch is killing single player games because you can now just watch
The whole thing, yeah.
the whole thing and not have to play it. And that, yeah, it can ring true in some scenarios where, especially like a Telltale game where it's mostly just a story, you can kind of...
I don't know. Like, see, I have a problem with that because, like,
I
for
disagree
me,
with the premise as well because I've watched YouTube actually. I mean, I'm assuming it's the same idea.
yeah,
I've actually
play
bought
my Let's Plays and shit like that.
Yeah, and I've like maybe through the PlayStation Plus subscription, but I've bought a handful of Telltale games that I've just watched on there because it is different. You have some choices, and you don't remember everything, or you don't see everything that you see on YouTube either. So I don't know. It actually sold me on the game a couple times. So
Well,
that would be my counterpoint.
yeah, it's
Not
a
to
counterpoint,
mention,
but
are you really going to watch like a Twitch stream for the duration of an entire game?
well, maybe, but that's my problem. Is like, who are these people that are calling themselves gamers if that's what they're doing to play? I mean, seriously, like that's not you're not a gamer if you do that.
I have
Like,
a coworker who watched the God of War
What?
and he
But
didn't want
why?
to play it.
oh my god, like.
No, I mean,
But that's the difference, though. He's not gonna play it.
If you only care about the story and you can't play, or you don't want, like, you always would want to play it more.
I think that's where like
even
some
for
of
a
these...
point-and-click type of game like that, you just get frustrated. It's like, why aren't you going the right direction? Like,
But
it
the point
always
of it-
feels better to like play it if you're a gamer.
I'm sure, but
If you're
the point of
not-
the point of that guy's statement was the fact that Twitch is killing single player games. It wouldn't be if that guy was never going to buy that game to begin with and play it.
Yeah, I know. I don't really think it is, other than the fact that there's more for multiplayer things. There's more value to the game on something like Twitch, where you can keep, being salty or like fighting people, or the gameplay experience changes, and you can just
Right. Well,
stream
multiplayer games, that's
play.
the difference. Is they're the same game, but it
But
changes every
that's what I
time
mean.
you watch
but
it.
That makes that game more valuable for people who want to stream stuff, or for people who want to watch it, because that can last a long time and longer, and it's not just like a single experience. So that's a different angle about how it might hurt single player games, because it just makes it less valuable because it lends itself to maybe one playthrough and then you're done with it for a viewer, rather than having it be like a staple of a streamer's like personal for like a year or two, like that multiplayer, like a fighting game or something like Fortnite or something like that, where you just play a bunch of people over and over again, and that can be like they can make a career out of maybe even a single game, and so that it just changes the value proposition for certain people, whether viewing or playing it as a streamer. That's how I think it can hurt single player games, but I don't think it just automatically spoils them all and takes away purchases, because I think as many purchases that they take away, they might actually be adding and advertising.
The thing is like, yeah, I think that let's take Persona 5 as an example here. I don't think you need this anti-streaming protection thing in the game where they're not allowed to stream the game and get in trouble. You don't need that. Like I said, if someone's going to play the game, they're going to buy it and play it. And if they're not, then like, I mean, I can't see even the Telltale games. Like if I'm watching somebody play the game, I want to play it the way I want to play my game. I like to play video games. That's the way I want to do it. Why would I
make the choice?
Yeah, why would I have somebody else make that choice? And then if I don't choose the way he did, the story will branch a different way, and I'm like, that's not my story anymore at that point. If I happen to choose exactly like he did, sure. But
it should also help for these games that peddle the idea of choice. If they're worried about this, make sure the choice is real.
Sure.
So you have actual consequences and branching paths rather than it's all the same anyway. So if you see just someone else play it, and even if they choose something, it matters for one line, and then that's it. Then you can sort of say that, oh, well, I watched it, I know what happened, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you want to avoid that, make in your story-based game, make it actually have gameplay that matters, and maybe that won't be a problem.
No, this argument is so dumb, and it just sounds like the new version of, oh, rentals are bad for the industry. Fuck that.
I agree.
If your game is compelling, if your game is good, people will play it, okay? And exposing it to other people, even if they can, in the upper scenarios, watch the entire game without spending a single cent because somebody else is streaming it. Okay, that's fine. But that person still could talk to their friend or their sibling or whatever and be like, man, I saw that like God of War game being streamed. Yeah. That was awesome. And then maybe that person goes, wow, really? Huh? Maybe I should get that. And now they buy it.
Yeah.
Like they still profit off that. If your game is being talked about, 99% of the time, it's probably a good thing.
Why I played God of War. That's why I played it. Because it was talked about so much.
And also, I mean, if your game has no value beyond it being watched, then you made a movie. You didn't make a game, and then that's kind of your problem.
That's a good point, too. I mean, I think that the industry is looking at it wrong if that's the way they're looking at it, because, like you said...
I kind of thought this idea went away a while ago. I thought a lot of people, like...
It was talked about just
marketing.
Well, no, I mean, it is a marketing tool, but we've had recent games where they were, you can't stream certain sections of this game. And I'm like, I don't see why you can't. I mean, I understand spoilers and stuff.
I can understand for some things, for time limit, maybe hey, the first week, you can't stream the whole game because it's sort of, I can get it. I'm not saying I agree, but I can sort of understand. But to never lift that embargo, be like right now, there's no reason that you cannot stream Persona 5.
Exactly. I agree.
There's no reason.
But they'll still give you shit for it.
Right, exactly. They'll still give you shit.
So, which is unbelievable. And I felt like they shouldn't have done that in the beginning anyways. I just felt like, I don't know. Like I said, if I don't really watch Twitch much myself, so maybe that's the disconnect I have here. But because I want to experience my video games. It's like reading a book. Why would I watch some, I don't know, I never wanted to read the Cliff Notes. I never wanted to. If it was a good book, why would I want to do that? And if it wasn't, I wouldn't be reading it anyways. I wouldn't be playing it. You know what I mean? It's the same idea.
That's the thing with streaming. It's sometimes for single player games, I could understand doing that if you're curious about a game. I'll watch someone else play it for a little while, but that's just the same thing as you were saying before, talking to your friend who has played it. It's the same idea. It's give me an idea of what I'm getting into. Is it something I want to get into or not myself? Then you can decide to, not buy it or buy it. And I think a lot of the things that people are missing is that maybe they lose out on half of a percent.
It's such a small percentage.
Maybe. But the amount of the stuff that they get back because of the word of mouth and because of the advertising and marketing that's getting done is, I think, tenfold over what you're losing out on.
Money is what's killing single player games. It's the games as a service model that's making people a shit ton of money. That's what people want to spend more time investing on, not the single player experiences. It's nothing to do with Twitch.
Yeah, and again, like what you were saying, to reiterate your point, Jim, is the people that are not buying your game because they're watching on Twitch are not buying your game.
Exactly.
Either way, they're not buying it because
they're
buying
not
it.
going to play the game.
Sure, they might have been curious about it,
like
but
Mike said, you watched a stream of a game you would never buy anyways. So, I mean, I don't know what game it was. Telltale, I'm sure, like Walking Dead.
Yeah, no, that was my first experience with actually any Walking Dead. I think I was watching someone play it, and turns out I have like the first 2 seasons anyway come now. So I still got them. I don't remember every detail, and so it was interesting. And again, it was partially through PlayStation Plus subscription, but I got them.
Yeah.
And the only game now that I've watched that I could have played and didn't is probably the other one, the Fables one. But if a second season of that comes out, I'll probably play them both.
Yeah,
The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us is a great one. I really like that. I love that story. So, but
that is the one game.
We didn't mention that. Go ahead.
There's the one game that would actually get me to play another Telltale game. So as of right now, I'm like, no.
Especially if they're releasing that new engine finally. They're finally updating their engine, so that'd be awesome. You know, that's news, but I figured we'd mention it real quick because we forgot to.
Well, we had talked about it whenever the last time we actually talked about them.
When they changed the generations of consoles, we thought it would be better.
Yes. Yeah. No. It wouldn't be. It would not work. We thought it would be. We thought they would run great, and they still run like shit on these consoles. So getting a new engine that runs better, I can't wait for that. But
Let's hope it runs better. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think, like I said, we've talked about this, and I am a huge fan of single player games. I love these single player games. Do I have less time to play them nowadays? Sure, but I will play them, and I will. You know, it's not like I'm never going to play Ni no Kuni. But you know, it took me a little while to get through Nier. I played through Nier. I love that game. It took me a little while to get through God of War, but I still love that game. Last of Us Part 2 is coming this year. You know, I'm going to play that game. I think I'm going to enjoy it. It just takes me a little longer, but I still love these games. And I mean, that's for me. It's my. You know, I compare them to books. I just mentioned the book before. It's my reading. It's my book. It's like I want to experience this adventure. And as a games as a service, you don't experience it in my mind the same way as like an adventure book. Like I don't know. It's like my escape. The single player games.
I mean, for sure. And I just never like depending so much on either other players or just stuff that's promised later that may not be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, and I understand that like I like to play. You know, I play a lot of like the games I'm playing right now are all competitive multiplayer games. I can just go back and forth, and I like that. That's fine. But if you want to hunker down and really immerse yourself, I think a single player experience
like I
is
said,
still the way to go.
It's like reading a good book for me. It's like that's what I look at them like.
Yeah, and I still have downts about stuff like Destiny or Anthem maybe in the future.
To tell those stories?
Telling the stories the same way that I would like from a single-player game in a shared universe, which I haven't seen it happen yet, and I'm still skeptical it can happen.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it in the scale that I would like to. I mean, Destiny, I think the rehash of Destiny did a pretty good job in The Taken King, but it's still... It was, you know, I still want more. I want more story. Like, it felt like I was playing that game differently because of the fact that it's online multiplayer and it's not like a single
changing that up completely actually this time.
Good.
Let's go around September.
Good.
Well, no, I mean they're taking more story out of it.
Well,
they're doing it more as like in-game things, you know, like monitors or something that you get, and then
yeah. So, oops.
And you play that for like 2 hours and you're done.
All right.
Story's over.
Anything else to add to this, guys? No? Good, Tony?
Yeah. Just let people stream your games. It'll help you. Believe us.
Yeah, exactly. The only way it's gonna hurt you is if it's a bad fucking game. And even then, at least some people might be like, "Wow, this game looks so bad. I gotta play it."
It's a bet. It's a bet loss.
Like Skate 2 or something.
Yeah.
So Friday the 13th, even.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap up 401. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have some new topics next week. The Moviecast, Gamecast coming at you next week. We have, like I said, another fundraiser coming at towards the end of the year. Mike just turned his light off. There we go. And thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allicangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter at allicangeek. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you next week.